What's up, guys? It's Jeb, and I just went through every single player on the NBA SoRare marketplace to find the best buy and sell plays. Now, if you don't have a SoRare account, feel free to check out the link in the description for an exclusive deal. Remember that this video is not financial advice. Hit that like button and that subscribe button, and let's jump right into it. Now, let's get started with a buy that I'm probably the most excited about, and that is Tyrese Maxey. Going into game week 3, Tyrese Maxey has a cap of 38, and the floor price of his season 1 card is just below $30. Now, Tyrese Maxey is a player we highlighted in the offseason because with all the Harden drama, we knew he would get substantially more usage. In the first 2 weeks, he's already taken complete advantage of that, dropping a 57 and a 60 on SoRare. Personally, I only think it's a matter of time before Maxey is considered a viable MVP play in SoRare week in and week out. And when you compare Maxey to some of the other top tier players in SoRare, his price is significantly less, and I don't think it'll remain that way. Now, the next buy on my list is a player who has been somewhat of a disappointment for the first 2 game weeks. However, with a floor price of just $8 and a cap below 30, I think it is well worth the risk to take a gamble on Andrew Wiggins. Now, during the offseason, we were very bullish about Andrew Wiggins, considering the substantial role he would have to play on the Warriors if they had any shot at getting another ring. While he's been disappointing so far, it has been made very clear that he will need to step up in order for the Warriors to succeed. And for that reason alone, I'm buying low on Andrew Wiggins. Despite the slow start, I fully expect him to establish himself as the clear number 2 to Stephen Curry. This may not happen in the next few game weeks, so you don't necessarily need to go out and purchase him immediately, but he is a player that I will definitely be watching. Now, my third and final buy for this video is a player that, once again, we highlighted during the offseason, and we stated he probably would have a substantial role on a team that was lacking depth. And that is Eric Gordon. Now, it didn't take long for this hypothesis to prove true, as both Beal and Booker have already missed time. And as a result, we saw Eric Gordon double his cap of 17 and drop a 35 for game week 2. With a floor just above $5, I think Eric Gordon is a no-brainer buy right now. I think Eric Gordon is an evergreen play who will have countless windows to fit into quite a few optimal lineups. One of the best parts of this play is that when players like Booker and Beal come back, Eric Gordon's role will be diminished for those games and his cap will lower again, once again making him a very optimal play when Booker or Beal or KD are sitting for a game or multiple games. So now we've talked about 3 of my favorite buys. Let's talk about 3 players that I'm not as excited about. And that first player would unfortunately be LeBron. Now, I know everyone's going to rush to the comments and say, Jeb, you're such a massive LeBron hater. Of course you're saying sell LeBron. And while it's true that I'll always take Kobe over LeBron, it doesn't change the fact that I'm playing to win. And in this case, I think LeBron is just not a good SoRare play for quite a few reasons. The biggest one is he seems to be pretty healthy right now, and he is on a minutes restriction. While limited minutes make complete sense for LeBron at this age, especially if the Lakers are actually trying to make a push at a championship, it is a complete disaster for a SoRare lineup. For that reason alone, I have a hard time not seeing the price on LeBron and thinking that he would be worth selling rather than playing in your lineups. On top of that, like we said, LeBron is old. So not only are minutes a problem, but his health will be a problem all season. And he will almost certainly be sitting out games, whether it's load management or actual injuries. Personally, I think there are so many better plays than LeBron right now on SoRare. And if you can sell him right now at his floor price of $40, you can actually use that money and buy all 3 of the guys we have on our buy list. I'm sure there will be game weeks where LeBron puts up massive SoRare scores this season. However, I don't really want to try to predict when those games are going to happen. I would much rather have a healthy, younger player who has that ceiling potential as my anchor in a optimal SoRare lineup. Now, the number 2 guy on my sell list is kind of in that similar vein as what we just talked about with LeBron, and that is Jusuf Nurkic. Now, Nurkic is a decade younger than LeBron, but somehow on the court, he always seems to look older than LeBron. Nurkic has quite a history of injuries, and personally, I just would not bet on him staying healthy throughout this season. Therefore, I would go ahead and sell him right now for what I think is a pretty decent high. Now, it's totally possible his value goes up a bit more. He has a cap of 23 and his price is sitting at about $18, which seems like a pretty great deal for an optimal lineup player. But similar to LeBron, I don't really want to try and gamble on Nurkic's health. And unlike LeBron, Nurkic is not a generational player. His ceiling is rather limited, and I would much rather take a gamble on a more talented younger player. And finally, the last player on my sell list is someone who even surprised me when I was going through the marketplace, and that is Dennis Schroeder. Believe it or not, Dennis Schroeder is sitting at $24 right now with a cap of 19. And a big reason that's the case is because in game week 1, he dropped to 35, and game week 2, he dropped to 44. Now, I think Dennis Schroeder is a solid role player, but that's just it. He's a role player, and $24 can get you much better players with a much higher ceiling. For example, for that same price, you could pick up his teammate, Scotty Barnes. Personally, I think Scotty has a much higher ceiling, and I would rather be squeezing him into my lineups as opposed to Dennis Schroeder. Now, I know the cap discrepancy doesn't make this example perfect, but I think you get what I mean. Dennis Schroeder has a cap to his ceiling, and there are just so many better plays out there, and $24 can get you quite a few different cards on the SoRare marketplace. And with that being said, I think we're going to go ahead and end the video here. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please return the favor and smash the like button. Also, make sure to subscribe to the channel so you can catch next week's videos as we talk about 3 more buys and 3 more sells for game week 4. Thanks again for watching. Good luck on your lineups, and I'll see you guys next week. Please clap.